And we all know Beehive has been making waves and possibly giving a lot of established banks a run for their money in the SME space. So what's the secret sauce? What's really Beehive is doing that they are, actually challenging some of the established players?
Assessment, how we do it. And all in all, for last 11 years, again, Beehive has dating their policies, looking at the market, how it's working, and been just trying to be on top of our, assessment processes.
What has really, kind of changed over last few years in the market? When you look at the whole process, banks have been doing this. What's different for you? How, things have changed now?
You have to be efficient, or which is faster, and in that, Perfios, literally this year has helped us massively. We started with the bank statement analyzer from Perfios this year, and it is helping us massively, with the accurate data and efficiently with fast as well.
Hi, welcome to this edition of Interaction Podcast. It's my privilege to have Ms. Abiha Ahmed, Director of Risk Operations from Beehive. So, Abiha, very warm welcome. Great you were able to join us today. A little bit of introduction from your side first.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here. I am Abiha. I am director, as you've said, director of risk and operations in Beehive. And Beehive is a huge SME lender in UAE market. We've been there for last 11 years. So we lend to SMEs basically in UAE, Saudi, and Oman.
So tell me something about your journey at Beehive, now that you said that Beehive has been in the market for 11 years, and your journey in Beehive.
So again, I have been with Beehive from last 7 years. Gonna be 7 years in December. Started as a very junior position as a business analyst, which was where I used to go down and visit the clients, and on top of that, meeting the stakeholders of the businesses. So post that became the analyst, which is credit analyst, and then senior, then head of credit. And quite recently, I have moved as director of operations and risk again in July or so. So been a quite a wonderful journey in Beehive, and I'm looking forward to more.
And we all know Beehive has been making waves and possibly giving a lot of established banks a run for their money in the SME space. So what's the secret sauce? What's really Beehive is doing that they are, actually challenging some of the established players?
So again, without giving a lot on the secret sauce, it's more around our credit and risk assessment, how we do it. And all in all, for last 11 years, again, Beehive has, updating their policies, looking at the market, how it's working, and been just trying to be on top of our, assessment processes.
So when you talk about the assessment process, what has really, kind of changed over last few years in the market? When you look at the whole process, banks have been doing this. What's different for you? How, things have changed now?
Automation makes a lot change a lot difference when it comes to analysts, and also when you are trying to ramp up your book size as well. So we don't have to give away a lot, wherein you bring in automation, you bring in right automation, I would say, make your teams efficient, where you have the right automation and people, skilled people as well in teams, specific team, which is again risk, credit, or operations. That's there.
So when you talk about automation, are you referring to, bringing in more efficiency and speed to the process, or you're, kind of referring to where, you kind of weed out the errors in the whole process? Because credit assessment, one of the big things, which, we all saw was very subjective, right? Automation, when you are referring to is, focusing only on the speed, or you're also looking at, how do we, kind of get the correct assessment done?
So, again, coming back to my role, it's in operations and risk. So for me, it's a mix of both. You have to be accurate. You have to be efficient, or which is faster. And in that, Perfios, literally this year has helped us massively, massively, because the data we collect on our assess bank stat. Like we started with the bank statement analyzer from Perfios this year, and it is helping us massively, with the accurate data and efficiently with fast as well. Where earlier what was happening, we have with the bank of analysts, they were doing, not so standard analysis where each person had their different assessment process. Now it's more standardized, so which means we know what needs to look at, and it's serving the purpose.
So then, what I hear you saying is that it has become standardized and more objective
Yeah,
rather than subjective, depending on the credit analyst, right?
100%.
Who, he or she would be doing that. And then obviously speed has come into the play as well.
Exactly.
And is that the real differentiator for Beehive as well when you look at, what's happening in the market?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Definitely. When, again, as I said, right, when the automation comes in play and you do the analysis, and you have to deploy a lot, and you have to like looking into a lot of, let's say, deals in a day. Earlier, in without giving a lot of numbers out, right? But earlier, analysts were taking a lot of time in analyzing with the manual processes, especially when it comes to the bank statement analysis, because SMEs have multiple bank accounts. What they were doing, looking at those manually, the actual, revenue figures and stuff like that. Now it has changed drastically. Drastically again, as I said, without giving numbers, but process has been like more standardized, faster, and efficient.
And where do you, kind of see Beehive in next 6, 12 months? What are the biggest challenges for Beehive to overcome and how you're planning to overcome them?
All right. They're like, we are looking at the different teams or different departments in the silos as well, like rectifying, what the processes we've been following for quite some time now, bringing in again efficiency in there. The challenges that we are facing, it's not like massive challenge, like small is like, few bits and pieces are still manual or not fully manual, semi-manual. So whole idea is to again automate with the efficiency, like with different tools, solutions to put in there.
And how do you think Perfios can help over the kind of targets or the business objectives you have for next 12 months?
So, all right, that's a very nice question. So, like as said, we've started with the BSA, which is like Bank Statement Analyzer. Next step is to look into financial documents as well. That specific solution, and just I had a demo on your agentic AI on collection side of it, which again is quite interesting. I am literally looking forward to look into it, and it will help on the total journey of a client who comes to Beehive for financing.
So is debt management or collections a problem area for entities like Beehive right now, or?
I wouldn't say it's a problem area, but it's very good to look into it. Reason being, like how we are, increasing our book size. So it's always better to be like, cautious and, start, working in advance, whatever the solutions we have in the market, just to explore it. And if something fits in, bring it on board.
And what role do you see AI playing in the whole a lending arena, right? I mean, AI, everybody wants to embrace AI today. You spoke about the agentic AI, debt management system you saw. What other, AI led initiatives you see in the whole lending process coming in?
The again is like to look into the documents for specifically on the SME side of it. The biggest challenge people face is like having AI implement, like not having AI implemented on the documentation bit of our data sources as well. So which will help us the most is like having unstructured data converted into structured data for us to look into like data assessment processes. That's where AI can help massively.
What about, the data or alternate data? I mean, I'm sure you're looking at a lot of multiple data sources, but people do talk about a lot of alternate data coming in and, people using that in credit assessment. Do you think that is playing a role now? And are you looking at alternate data?
We do look into it. We do look into it. And yes, it kind of does at times as well, because alternate data gives you, UA is a big market. Yeah, UA is a big market and mostly run by expats.
Right.
So it's always good to look into alternate data for those, people, especially when it comes to not only a credit and risk assessment, but also on the debt collection side of it, or just to, be on top of it.
And specifically on the SME segment, now you are obviously looking at the multiple SME profiles. So, what is the Beehive sweet spot in terms of the SME segment? Where do you think the growth largely coming from? And overall, and not only from a Beehive, but overall as a UAE market, maybe.
So UAE market is a trading hub. We know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does, but again, trading, it has kind of its, thing as well, where more, or, it's more riskier compared to manufacturing or services.
Right.
Yeah. So our sweet spot is like all sectors, just the better assessment, while lending to any of the sector.
Right. And what kind of growth you are expecting in the UAE market in SME lending? Over the years, we've seen some of the established players, kind of dominating the market, and then, you know, players like Beehive come in. Are you looking at the market to grow by what, 2x, 5x, 10x over next 24, 36 months?
To be honest, I see it at least 5x, or 5 to 6x. That's a figure I'm looking at.
So thank you so much, Abiha. This was really insightful, right? To get your views on what Beehive is doing and your views about the UAE market as well. We are, hopeful we'll be able to partner more and help you hopefully get to the 5x or 10x growth which Beehive is looking for. So thank you so much for your time today.
Definitely. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thanks
Thank you.
for having me here. Thank you.